A great dinner scene can be a masterclass in quiet tension. Disagreements simmer beneath the surface, every glance and pause carrying weight. But Star Trek Discovery doesn't do subtle. It throws conflict in your face, turning what should be an engaging, layered moment into an unintentional cringe fest. Compare that to The Undiscovered Country, Enterprise or Picard, where dinner scenes become battlegrounds of power, subtext, and unspoken conflict, with characters keeping composure even as tensions rise. So why does Discovery fail where others succeed? Let's break down the art of the dinner scene, and what Discovery and Strange New Worlds get wrong. Dinner scenes in Star Trek are a storytelling tradition. From Archer negotiating with Andorians over a meal in the captain's mess, to Picard's refined diplomatic dinners, these moments reveal character dynamics, explore conflicts from multiple points of view, and deliver crucial exposition naturally. Think about the iconic dinner scene in Star Trek VI: The Undiscovered Country. Tension, subtext, and personality clashes are all on full display. A great dinner scene is a stage where every character plays a role, their words and reactions shaping the narrative. It's crucial to ensure that each character speaks from their own unique perspective when writing. For example, in this scene, Chancellor Gorkon is advocating for peace, expressing his hope for a future of cooperation and understanding. McCoy, believing in the Chancellor's ability to achieve this peace, offers his full support, calling Gorkon one of the architects of their shared future, demonstrating McCoy deeply values the possibility of peace between the Federation and the Klingon Empire. On the other hand, one of the Klingons is primarily concerned about preserving his culture and fears it might be lost. Both perspectives add to the conversation and reveal more about the characters. But not all Star Trek dinner scenes are created equal. While some scenes manage to capture this tension, Discovery struggles to make these moments feel natural or meaningful. The biggest problem with Discovery's approach is that its dinner scenes lack organic dialogue and depth. Instead of flowing like a real conversation, they feel forced, overloaded with exposition, or drenched in melodrama. A prime example is the dinner scene in Season 3, Episode 4, Forget Me Not, where the crew gathers for what should be a moment of connection, but it quickly spirals into chaos. The scene is intended to showcase the emotional fractures within the crew, but instead of a natural progression of tension, it jumps straight into hostility. Characters lash out with little build-up, making the conflict feel artificial rather than an organic clash of personalities and perspectives. By contrast, Picard, Season 3 uses dinner scenes with precision, with the best example being in Season 3, Episode 1, when Picard and Riker have dinner with Captain Shaw aboard the Titan. The scene masterfully creates a tense atmosphere. Shaw exerts his authority with passive-aggressive comments, subtly undermining Picard and Riker, while maintaining a hostile yet measured demeanour. Picard and Riker struggle to get Shaw to consider their request, as he challenges them with logical arguments, questioning their reasoning and making them struggle to justify their position. The dialogue is laced with subtext, each line revealing the shifting power dynamics at the table. Shaw doesn't raise his voice or state outright that he dislikes them. He makes his position clear through cutting remarks. Shaw remains in control throughout the conversation, setting the tone from the start by eating before they arrive, a calculated display of dominance. He undercuts their hospitality with a casual dismissal of the gifted bottle of Chateau Picard, subtly asserting his own preferences. His jabs at Riker's taste in jazz double as a critique of his command style, framing him as reckless and undisciplined. As Picard and Riker attempt to steer the discussion toward their request, Shaw challenges them at every turn, exposing holes in their reasoning with sharp efficiency. His final rejection is absolute, delivered with a dry finality that leaves no room for argument. Even when 7 of 9 tries to intervene, he shuts her down with a pointed reminder of where her loyalties should lie. The conversation isn't just about orders. Shaw isn't merely refusing their request. He's reminding them that this is his ship, his rules, and their legacy holds no weight here. It respects the audience's intelligence, letting subtext do the heavy lifting while allowing the characters' dynamics to shape the tension. Another issue is Discovery's tendency to overuse emotional outbursts rather than letting tension develop. In a great dinner scene, every word, pause, and glance matters. Picard understands this, crafting layered conversations, revealing the character's position in the world, and their level of influence in each situation. Meanwhile, Discovery frequently turns scenes into an emotional confrontation without build-up, making the scenes feel hollow rather than impactful. There's no patience, no slow boil, just an explosion of emotions that often feel disconnected from the audience's experience. Junior officers behave unprofessionally in front of senior officers, openly yelling at each other and storming off, followed by everything being resolved quickly with apologies or sudden forgiveness that come out of nowhere and lack emotional weight. Strange New Worlds also struggled with dinner scenes. In episode 2, Uhura assumes an Enar officer needs help because he is blind, unaware that his species' other senses are superior, which compensate. When he corrects her, she then says she's read about the Enar, a strange comment which makes her sound as if she's studying him, rather than engaging with him. Despite this misstep, the other characters immediately warm to her without any real connection forming. Later, Pike explains a joke to Spock in a way that makes Spock seem less perceptive than he should be. When asked if linguistic skills come easy, Uhura confidently replies, "For me, sir, yes." But instead of sounding passionate, it comes off as arrogance. The scene attempts to add depth by revealing her tragic backstory. Her entire family died in a shuttle accident, but it's presented so casually that it lacks emotional weight. The dialogue feels engineered to hit specific beats, making the scene feel forced rather than organic. Organic dialogue is about ensuring characters' conversations feel natural. Forced exposition, melodrama, or rushed emotional outbursts will distance the audience from the characters. For writers, the dinner scene in Picard is a great example of how to use subtext to create conflict. The reason behind Shaw's hostility is hinted at, but not revealed until several episodes later, preserving the mystery. Every small remark, every gesture, adds weight to the conversation, and each character's actions shape the underlying power struggle. In these moments, Shaw doesn't have to scream to assert dominance. His comments and actions speak volumes. The contrast between Discovery and STN's dinner scenes, and the more refined, layered interactions in earlier Star Trek series becomes even clearer when you look at how Enterprise uses them. The dinner table is often a place for personal connection, where subtle, unspoken dynamics reveal the depth of character relationships, with both sides learning about each other despite having differing views. In Enterprise's Broken Bow, the dinner table serves as a setting for early character bonding. Archer, T'Pol, and Trip sit down together, each with distinct perspectives, but an openness to listening and understanding. The scene subtly reveals their differences. T'Pol's discipline and logical approach to life clash with Archer and Trip's more relaxed dispositions. Yet rather than a heated confrontation, the scene is filled with light-hearted exchanges, humour, and genuine curiosity about one another's customs. These moments create a space where their contrasting worldviews are acknowledged without antagonism, highlighting the respectful exchange of ideas as they get to know each other, laying the groundwork for the camaraderie that will develop over time. Even when there is tension, such as in Chosen Realm, the disagreement between T'Pol and Djamat doesn't explode into insults or shouting. Both parties have drastically opposing views, but they discuss them without devaluing each other. The scene respects their differences. Archer diffuses the situation through dialogue, with each character maintaining composure. When writing these scenes, use subtle dynamics to reveal contrasting personalities and foster empathy between characters. In Enterprise, the characters' interactions at the dinner table reflect their internal struggles and worldviews, yet they never descend into shouting matches. Consider each dinner scene as a chance to develop relationships and reveal the true nature of the characters to the audience. A great dinner scene isn't just about people sitting at a table, it's about revealing character, exploring themes, and setting the stage for future conflict or resolution. Every scene should have purpose, whether to build character, advance the plot, or explore subtext. Picard understands this and uses the dinner table as a narrative weapon. Discovery, on the other hand, often misfires, turning what should be a battleground of ideas into a messy, unearned emotional explosion. Subtext matters, pacing is crucial, and emotional outbursts should have build-up. When writing dialogue-heavy scenes, remember that silence and subtext can carry as much weight as the loudest argument. By carefully crafting moments of tension and ensuring each character's behaviour is consistent and organic, you can create compelling, memorable scenes that resonate with the audience long after the conversation ends. But if writer's block is preventing you from getting words on the page, find out how some of the most famous authors deal with it in this video. And remember to like and subscribe.